Happy March, everyone. This is the post-board meeting update for this month. Excited to recap some of the board happenings. First of all, hopefully everybody's had a great spring break, enjoyed time with family. These next 2 weeks, or next 2 months, excuse me, super important for our kids as we engage in high levels of learning. I want to just give a shout out to our instructional staff and all our entire team that are going to be working tremendously hard over these next couple of months with our students. Parents, please make sure your kids come to school. Get them here as soon as much as possible. We have a lot to accomplish in these next 2 months with them so that they're prepared for the next grade level. And a lot of fun activities and events. Of course, high school graduation. This time of year just seems to fly by sometimes too fast. And so we want to just slow these next couple of months down and really get instruction embedded deep with our kids so that we can help them as much as possible. I'd encourage you to consider what your plans are for your kids this summer to keep them engaged. Yeah, we're a couple months out still from that, but getting them to read books, keeping them engaged academically, super critical. There's a lot of great resources online and those types of things. Our mission is to help your children, your child, those that you love, prepare for their futures beyond these doors. And so anything that we can do as a community to rally around these kids is super important. We had a really good board meeting tonight. We want to highlight a few of those things. So I'm going to scroll down here through our agenda. We reviewed our strategic plan belief that we believe decisions need to be based on what is best for our students. And that is a hallmark of our district and the path that we try to move forward on. The board norm that was created tonight, or that was reviewed tonight, was we will operate in a proactive professional environment of no surprises by creating a clear and detailed communication protocol. So really that's really a belief centered around a norm, centered around having clear communication, creating a good team, building a culture of trust where we as an administrative team know what the board needs, that we're getting their questions answered, and having time to research and getting good, accurate responses to those questions that they have prior to a meeting, and that we as board members respect each other and communicate clearly and professionally with each other. So we're blessed to have a really strong board. And I'll just say this is March Board Appreciation Month. We recognize the board this month. We had students and in our buildings create gifts for our board members, our 7 board members, of appreciation for their service. I want to express appreciation for these 7 individuals. This board challenges us. Tonight was one of those nights where we had a lot of really healthy debate and dialogue and discussion that I think is going to move us in the right direction. It happens often in really all of our board meetings where our board is really focused on doing what is best. They each have unique individual approaches and backgrounds, but ultimately I think as a team, we are united as an organization to move our district forward. We have a lot of great accomplishments over the last almost 6 years now, full 6 years now since I've been here, because of strong boards of education. And this board, like the ones that I've worked with since I've been here, it's just been a phenomenal group of individuals. I appreciate their service, their commitment to education, the leadership that's provided through our president and Perry Phillips, and then all the board members who each bring a different piece to our team. So just appreciate all that they do. Just a reminder that on April 8th, there is an election. I know in a year where we have a presidential election, sometimes the spring election can feel not as important, but there are some important ballot initiatives in April. One being the Taylor Rock Lake Chamber's tax initiative, tourism tax initiative, which is a tax on lodging that goes to visitors that are coming to kind of get us in a level playing field, at least get us moving in the right direction as compared to our peers, and creating marketing for tourism and helping our businesses here locally, which is a lot of our families. A lot of our families are business owners. That marketing is really important to their livelihood, as well as many of us who in our community, many of our families work in the tourism industry. So that's an important initiative. You can contact Sheila Thomas and LaDonna Weathers or their team. I'll just stop and say their whole team if you have questions about that particular initiative. And of course, we have a board election. We have great individuals running for the board. Again, I'm just really proud of the team we have put together, and so I encourage you to get out to vote and be informed. you're welcome to contact me if you have any questions about that. Pack night at Dolly Parton Stampede is coming up on April 11th at 8 p.m. This is a great opportunity for you to come and celebrate that night with us as a school community. The dollars that are created and generated that evening go into a scholarship fund that our foundation, the Reed Spring Foundation, gives out to all of our students and our seniors that apply for it and go through that application process. They can get scholarships. A lot of money is created in that event, so we encourage you to be there. I think I have 9 tickets I've got purchased already, so that we'll be there representing and enjoying the evening. So encourage you to do that. You can get to our website or contact one of our high school office to help you navigate that and get more information. We have coming up on May 3rd is our Excellence Award Banquet. Staff, if you have not signed up for that, please do so. I think it's by the end of next week. You have to have your reservation for your spot to attend that meeting, that day, that event. It's an opportunity to celebrate the greatness of our district, the good things that are going on, as well as honoring our retirees, honoring our service to community award recipients, and to figure out and really recognize all of our employees of the month and teachers of the month that have been recognized, but then identify who's been selected as the overall teacher and employee of the year. And so what a great opportunity to celebrate at the Chateau. Cy Borner, love Cy. He's been working hard at fundraising and trying to get table sponsors. If you are a business owner who's providing a table sponsor, thank you so much for doing that. If you have not or would like to have that opportunity to sponsor one of those tables at an event, encourage you to reach out to Cy. It's just a great opportunity to support our school district. And then on Friday or on May 5th, we will have a staff appreciation lunch offered at 11:30, and the board members will be there. Some board members will be there, if not all of them, to help with that and to hand out food. So great for that, and I'm ready for that. Okay, so moving on to our discussions, Dr. Dublin provided an update on our facilities master planning. We've been engaged with Dake Wells Architecture over this last year in several meetings to pull together a 10-year master plan. We're well on our way. We're also working independently of that. Our action planning teams are working on strategies that may impact facilities. We have a strategy specific in our new strategic plan that is centered on facilities. So all that information is going to be getting worked on. We have about 3 more meetings, and a final document will be shared with the board in June for their review and approval, a 10-year master plan. We have had an evaluation of all of our roofs done. We've had our mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. All of our MEP work has been done and evaluated to identify what are all of our systems, what the lifespan, what needs to be done through a rotation cycle. We've identified some pretty significant needs. Facility-wise, we've talked about some of those needs. Like the intermediate school is a good example where there's serious foundation structural issues with that building. It's going to probably need to be a priority. More will come in terms of all these projects. We have HVAC units in this building at the high school that 80 units that were all put in at the same time that are all going to expire around the same time. So we have to make sure we have a plan for this. So I feel really great that we're in a position now where we're putting all these systems together and we're creating a really solid concrete plan of what needs to be replaced when and getting those cycles together. It helps with budgeting and planning and then not getting hit with so many, oh man, this just blew up kind of situation, and we weren't really prepared for it. Now we're really getting all that information compiled in good plans. So appreciate the leadership of Dr. Dublin and Jason Reich, who have been both working tirelessly on that and doing a great job. Salaries will be discussed next month, finalized by the Board of Education next month. So teachers be ready for that, or employees be ready for that. We talk through some legislative matters. There's a lot happening in legislation right now. You can get online, you can Google Missouri legislation and kind of legislative priorities and things that are going on at the Capitol to find out and see how bills are moving. There are several that are impacting schools. We'll see how many of those cross the finish line. Some of those are really concerning. Some of them are positive. So we'll, as we get a little further in the process, we can update you on a little bit more of those. Big bulk of our meeting tonight was talking about our water service. As you know, we had some, because of lines that were problematic this last year, as in some years past, we missed some school and we had some major impact in terms of learning because of those water lines, and really have been exploring, do we move forward with tying in. Half of our school system is already with Branson West and half of it is with Reed Spring. Is there a way for us to take all of what's in Reed Spring? Do we take all those pieces where we have had all of our problems with the city of Reed Springs lines? Do we take those and say, okay, we're going to now negate those and we're going to create our own lines all the way to our Branson West connections at our corner here? Or do we work out some other agreement? We've had a lot of different discussions. The board had a really long debate tonight. It probably was an hour long, probably one of our longer debates in recent times, it seems like, to discuss pros and cons of each of those and what's the best thing to do, how do we best navigate this. And so we appreciate going through the RFP process and getting really good information. That RFP, which we haven't submitted and we're not moving forward with at this point, that RFP it outlines all the information from an engineering standpoint, what this would look like to be able to move forward. We have all those ducks in a row now that we can put an RFP out, get proposals, get bids in, and be able to move forward with that project. We're ready to go. However, we are also have been in conversations with some officials from the city of Reed Spring who, since the incident this past year, and knowing that we're a big customer, and knowing not only that, I think they want to serve a broader community. I know they do. We've been in conversations with them about what are some things that we need in order to be able to move forward with them as a service provider. What are some of the things that they're already thinking about? And so I'm feeling really good with what Reed Spring is proposing. We feel like we can come to an agreement with them, drafted agreement that outlines some standards of expectations that we would need to have as an entity be able to retain services there, which are really basic things that should be provided by a city. I think the individuals from Reed Spring, the city of Reed Springs that we met with, understand that those things are probably really basic kind of things that need to be addressed and are willing to work with us. So we're pleased with that, creating appointed person who can make the decision maker in the city that we can work with, because last time it was really our team that ended up having to do that. But really having an appointed person from the town of Reed Springs who can make those decisions, make financial decisions, who can bring in excavators in to work through lines, to have additional piping in reserve, emergency reserve, so that we don't have to go searching for parts around the region, having some budget money allocated for emergency crisis management, having a service response plan in place. These are things that they propose. So they've really done some work to kind of get some things together, and I think they're trying to do what's right. And we feel like we need to honor that work. The board voted on that tonight and decided to give Reed Spring an opportunity to make those things right, which is what they want to do, and to continue to elevate. And I feel like they want to make their infrastructure stronger, not only for us, for the community and for the neighborhood. So we're going to be working through some agreements in a good collaboration with them. And so we appreciate the discussion tonight and the board's decision on that. And we'll move forward with their recommendation at this point and kind of try to create a process with that. And if it doesn't work, and it fails, then we have the RFP and everything, all of our ducks in a row to be able to make that move as well. So anyways, that's a long, hour conversation, just wrapped up kind of briefly now, but we're still working through that. So more information probably will come, but just know we are being cautious about how we move forward and just advocating for our kids. At the end of the day, our kids, it's about educating our kids. It's about providing food for our kids, warmth and shelter, all those things that schools do for kids. And so we're excited to be able to move forward and are really optimistic. The board approved our winners activity program reviews. We appreciate all our coaching staff, as well as our activities director, Lance Gosh, and our assistant principal, Evan Theobald, for all the work that they do. Had a really successful season. We've had a lot of ups and downs. We've had learning on the court. I know from the Hirschi household, for us, wins are one thing. Obviously, I go to games and I want my kids to win their games, just like any other parent. But it's not the priority for us. Priority for us is character development. It's that they can learn how to connect with their peers. They can learn how to do something that's healthy, that's long term, that they create those habits long term, that they know how to work, like I said, in a team, that they can learn how to work with adults and to be able to be mentored by good men and women. So overall, we feel like we're moving in a good direction. A lot of that has to do with our youth sports program as well. Our youth sports program we've never had as much participation in youth sports. You can look at our enrollment, our numbers in all of our youth sports program. It's completely out of the roof. We're hearing more and more from our community that our youth sports program are really, really doing a phenomenal job. And a lot of that is because of what Jason Reich has established. Now Trent Ockenreiter is now doing. They're both men who have just really done a great job and have built a program. We've added new programs. I anticipate we'll continue to expand programming, and that's just feeding into a good secondary program. And so we're really proud of that work, and just really proud of what they've done and what they've been able to accomplish. And I encourage you, if you have questions about that, contact a board member, contact Jason Reich or Trent or Lance Gosh or Evan Theobald or anyone on our team to gather information, because it's been really good. Like all things, anything you do in life, there's going to be things that go wrong. There's going to be challenges in any avenue, but overall, we're trending in a great direction. The board tonight approved our health and dental new rates. Rates have increased about 6.7% through our medical and consortium. Dental rates have improved. The board approved to cover the additional cost of that increase. And so they're absorbing that so it doesn't go to our employees. So we appreciate the board in caring for our employees and not having them bear that burden. And we'll go ahead and raise those rates or pay the increased cost of that. Summer school dates have been set. The summer school dates are May 27th through June 20th. The board did approve those. We'll obviously have more information coming out around in April. They start to get that late April. They start to get that information out so that you can sign your kids up for summer school. Good way to keep learning continuing at least for 3 or 4 weeks is to keep them engaged in summer school. So I encourage you to do that. We really love having our kids around campus during that month. And the final thing is Dr. Kite has been collaborating with a professional learning organization, which was Corin, a Corin representative, uh, they'll be providing feedback and guidance and coaching with our instructional teams and our teachers, a site-based support structure next year for each building. And so there's going to be a lot more, our teaching staff, you'll hear a lot more about this, but we'll have that same group that came and provided feedback. They'll be here next year providing feedback on multiple visits into the buildings to help you really with strategy 1 and 2 of our new strategic plan, Future Ready Learners and Student Agency. And so as you work through identifying success criteria and learning learner intentions, that group, you'll have support. Our goal is to provide you as much support, professional learning, professional development in the areas of quality research that have been researched and put together. So Dr. Kite submitted that and it was approved by the board. That's our board meeting for this evening. Again, will end by saying this is an important academic time. It's important for your kids to be here engaged in all that we have to offer here at school. Please just send your kids here. We just love seeing them each and every day. Encourage them to work hard. Get a book. Have them read. I do every opportunity we get. If we get an opportunity to give a book to one of our kids, that's just part of the culture of learning, right? Is getting a book in front of their nose. So that's something I don't depend on the school to do. We do it at home. We encourage that with our kids and encourage you to do that as well. It's a great school district. It's a great place to be, a great place to learn. And we're heading in a great direction. And a lot of that's because of you. We appreciate all of you, all of your support, and appreciate every single one of our kids that's in our campus. That's it. Have a great day and appreciate all your support. Thanks.